In today's video, I'm changing out the steering box there. Got to get everything off that. The lines there are 5/8. The bolts on the outside right there, there's 3 of them on the outside of the frame. They pass through the frame to the box. Those are 5/8 as well. The only one I don't know is down there on the pinion gear. I don't know about that. And some of you astute people may have already noticed this. Yeah, I went to try to just like get this off right here and just see how far I could move it, and I didn't realize how crappy that was. And it's over there. It literally just snapped clean off. So yeah, not so much cold air anyway. I gotta fix that though, because I do not want hot air getting mixed in that. So anyways, yeah, I'm just trying to gather up my tools, and right now I'm trying to work on breaking those, trying to breaking these lines off right now. And it's kind of difficult, so I'm going to see what I can do. I think on this one right here, I'm having a hard time getting on that because it looks like there's a plastic clip around it, which is not letting me get the wrench right on it all the way. Also, I don't know what size nut is on that piece right there on the steering shaft coming down, like right there underneath there. I don't know what that is and how hard that. I'm hoping that I can just slide that off. Obviously this boot is just a cover, but I got to get that off there so I can slide the steering shaft off. I have to disconnect these 2 power steering lines, and of course the 3 5/8 bolts off the side there, the lower pinion one, and then I can get this thing out. First things first, I need to get these out. So I'll be working on this. I don't have a place to set up my camera, so it's going to take me a little bit. Also, it's very, very tight down there. So once I get these down, I will continue recording. While I've got light down here, yeah, that there's a little boot. That little boot right there is covering that whole shaft. I don't know if you guys can really see how well you can see that, but that's that little bolt right there. I got to get off the steering shaft. You can see it's up wide. So getting off that little cover right there, that little piece right there, getting off that line, I didn't realize, but yeah, it was actually part of that whole cover. So interesting, you know. While I'm doing this, I gotta say, I am learning a lot about this truck and the way she's designed. So yeah, it might be a little easier for me to get my trusty 5/8 brake line tool in there to break those guys apart. Like I said, if I had a tripod and better lighting, I'd show you guys me doing that, but I'll just show you basically when I get done. So I just wanted to show you guys that, because if you guys haven't done it before, what I did was I just took my side cutters down, whoops, and I pried on that little piece, and then I managed to lift it all up, and that's when I saw that nut on the steering shaft. So I was just like, oh, look at that. So yeah, hope that guys help you guys out there. I'm just going to continue on here. All right, so it's going to be zoomed out a little bit there, but managed to get the one line broken off completely. I used the 5/8 sides right here, and then I grabbed this one here because this one here is kind of hooked over a little bit more. If you switch it back and forth, this one here, like the open end, you can, you know what I mean, there's more movable on it. So break it loose with your brake line one, and then grab your 5/8, and then you continue to crack that thing loose the way it is there. Now I've just got to do the same thing on the other side. Now with that being said, you guys can see how I've lifted up the wheel well liner here, right here. And when I did that, actually there was a whole bunch of dirt in here. And surprise, surprise, this truck, the previous owners really bagged it, and there's a lot of rust in here. So what I'm going to do is get my flathead screwdriver, and I'll blast all that stuff off there too, because I don't need that stuff in there helping. But yeah, so I've got this line here broken loose, and I've just got to get this one here off. Once I get this one off, then as I can see, this is what I mean about lifting this thing up here. So this is a little boot that's being retained on that. I should be able to crack that little guy loose right there. If you can see it, crack that one loose. I should be able to hopefully just roll this thing right off of here. I'm hoping. Should be no issues. And then bust off. You can see one, I don't know if you guys can see it there. You can see that one right there. I'll show you underneath it when I get to it anyways. But yeah, so I've got one line off, working on the other one, and then I'll have to get a socket on that and bust that loose. I'll let you know the size. That one there probably, it's not 3/8 like everything else, or sorry, 5/8 like everything else. So I'll let you know the size on that one when I get to it. 13 on an extension with my little impact. Got that screw out. I put the screw right here. And then got my little pry bar here. I can show you guys this bit anyways. If you can see it. There is this little plastic cover right here. You guys see that right there? So there's a little plastic cover. A bunch of stuff on this thing. I don't know if it needs to be there. But prying this thing out, pries out pretty easy. You sliding up, sliding up, sliding up. Hey, I win. She's off. So there you go, she's off. Now, I gotta remember to keep that angle because I want to be able to get this thing back on here. And obviously, I'm thinking this plastic stuff, whatever's on here, is gonna transfer over to the new one. By the way, let's go look at the new one. All right, new one. So what I was just working on was this side right here. So you guys just saw all of this at this angle right here, right? So brake line, and then that 13 mil was right here. Pop this off. But then you guys saw that piece of plastic that went over top of this, and then over top of this there's a whole other sheet that comes up and over and on that hooks onto this line here. Anyways, and then over here, the 5/8 are the ones that pass through the frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this one off, I'm going to leave this one in because I still have to get that thing off, which I'm not sure what size it is yet. I can't remember what size it is. I have a video of when I first got my truck like 3.5 years ago of that thing being really loose. And so I know it's been tightened up and torqued, but there are a couple of little warnings with this. There's warnings all over this. Should be flushed, please read. And then there was one here about nothing should be torqued more than 20 foot-pounds. It's not warranted if this thing's cracked or anything. So keep in mind when you buy these things. If you're interested, these are the product codes right here. So the top code there is actually a Canadian tire number, 0022735, 501-01112, or 277516. These would be the product codes, and there's the QR code too if you guys want to Google the QR code. And this is a Vision OE original equipment. This one says it right on it, remanufactured. So original out of my truck. This thing fell on the floor yesterday, so it's got some stuff on it here. That thing's heavy, probably weighs about 50 pounds. So anyways, I digress. Let's get back into it. So with that, everything up top here is now disconnected there. So now I need to go underneath. With going underneath, I am first going to go inside there, grab my air line. I'm going to use my air gun to get that out, my impact to get those out, because I have a funny feeling they're going to be in there kind of tight. Then again, they might just fly right out. We'll see. Also, like I said, I got to find out what that one nut is. All right, so here's where I'm at. About to pull that thing off. I had to grab the biggest wrench I've got here, because that is an 1 5/8 nut right here on the bottom side of that, and this is going to be a 3/4 inch right here that I have to try and turn to get this thing off. So, and in the meantime, I'm dripping that little bit of power steering fluid that was still in the system out, making a mess. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing off, pop that down, and then we'll start working on these guys right here. Stay tuned. Well, normally you'd probably be doing this with an impact, but because it sits so friggin', it's right up against the casing on this, so I'm using this wrench to just slowly. Oh, I think I just got it. Oh yeah, I think she's off. Yeah, she's off. There we go. All right. Yeah. Oh, bye. See, I was just slowly. Yeah, she's off. Slowly pecking away at this thing here. Let me get this thing off now. There, she's off. Drop this sucker down. Oh, look at that. Still doesn't want to come off. Come on. You're off. Come on, off. Off. There you are. You're off. It's off. All right, so 5/8. Let's get this one, and just no noise. I'm just going to hit that with my impact. All right. And I don't think I need to get these things out all the way, but they seem to be coming out just fine. I think the air pressure in my tank is kind of low though. Oh, maybe not. That one came out real good. Oh. All right, hold on. That took a little work of banging it. Anyways, I gotta be careful here because that actually might just drop out now. Them words right there. She's out. Yay! All right, I gotta compare this to the other one. It has these little fingers right here, and this piece of plastic was on, and I've just cleaned this thing up. It's not perfect, but I cleaned it up. And looking at it, that's a short one, that's a long one, short one. So this is, I'm assuming, I don't know why it would go there, and it doesn't really stay there, but that's where it goes right there. That's off the old one, so she's going back on the new one. So yeah, now the fun part is getting this thing back in the vehicle, which obviously it's going to be hard for me to prop this up and get a bolt in it and do all that while it's on camera. So once I get the first 2 bolts in and I know I've got it lined up, I'll show you guys the progress. Or honestly, maybe I'll just call it that, and I'll call the video done, because getting it out is half the fun. Putting it back in is a struggle. There'll be a lot of curse words with it, I'm sure. So with that being said, I hope you guys found it video helpful. I'm glad I didn't have my hand under this when I took this last bolt out, which would be this top one right here, because you have this one. So I took this one out first, then I took this one out, and this was the last one to come out. And when I took this one out, as soon as I pulled it out, I pretty much knew she was going to fall, because there was nothing holding it. So, and I'm actually really lucky, because this thing, the old one, actually fell right beside my phone. I didn't have my phone there, or I did. Actually, I was recording, but right where my phone was sitting is where this thing dropped. So I've got to turn around and get this thing back in now. But yeah, I'm going to put everything back on the way she was. So I have my core in the box, and this thing's about to go back in the truck, and we'll call her done. I'll let you guys see it here in a minute. All right, nut secured, all secured. And I gotta say too, when you guys are doing this, pay attention to which one comes out, because I had to take this one from the top and that one from the bottom and kind of switch them around so it would go in. And the funniest thing was, I thought it was going to be easier to put the top one in. It was actually easier to get this one in, then that one, then finally that one, and sucked her right in. So yeah, it was a little pain to get this thing on, because it is keyed. So you guys got to kind of sort of pay attention to the way you're doing that. It is keyed, and yeah, don't torque these things over 20 foot-pounds. Yeah, you don't want to strip that stuff out. Now I just have to go up here, put those lines back in right there that you see, and I'll do that from the top side, because it's almost impossible to do it from down here. And oh, that's weird how the light changed there. And then get my steering column back on, and I'm going to call this job done. With that being said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you guys found this useful, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. Yeah, this job is all but done, so it shouldn't take me long at all to button up the top there and get all that back together again. Fill this thing up with power steering fluid. You know, start the truck up, air it up, air it out. I mean, bleed it out, turn the wheel a couple times, and then top her back up and let it sit overnight, and it should get all the air out of the lines. Once again, thanks a lot for watching. As the freezing rain starts again, I've had my hood closed basically this whole time, and that's the second piece of cardboard that I've had, because the other one got covered in power steering fluid. Go ahead and open this thing up so we get some light. And yeah, gonna need a new tube, obviously. Going to Wreckers tomorrow, so hopefully I'll have that. I actually might drive back to work too to bring that core back, but as I said, that's all I've got to do. So button this thing up, get this thing filled up, and that'll be done. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. This project is getting closer and closer to completion. That is one last thing that I needed to do for safety. Transmission lines, not necessarily for safety, but for safety. I don't want to blow the transmission line or transmission up by blowing the lines out of it. Leaf springs in the back, that is a safety thing. So those are something that have to be addressed. And as soon as it stops raining, I wish it would just start snowing, because I don't mind welding in snow. I just don't want to do it in the rain. So with that being said, thanks a lot for watching. Please like, share, and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. As always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.